fellow degens. Welcome to the Pay the Man podcast. Spoiler alert. We provide the worst possible picks on the internet. Featuring your favorite hosts, Jay Grimm and Jay Wiz.
Here we are. Sunday is done. Week 2 is almost done. We got 2 more games tomorrow. But look, we're coming to you here. It is 11:30 Eastern, right after the Packers handled business in Lambeau. A little bounce back spot for them. Wiz, I'm sure you can talk about that one. But look, let's start Thursday night, Chargers, Chiefs. And let's just talk about the action we had this whole week. Let's go.
Yeah, so right off the bat, brutal start for us on Monday. I mean, with the Broncos, which I know we talked about last episode. So we didn't start this week exactly how we wanted to. So Thursday, we're already playing catch up a little bit.
Right.
And we talked about how we like the Chargers. So I did a Chargers teaser. I did Chargers plus 11, and I took over 47. The over 47 in that game. I had Mike Williams over 4.5 because Keenan wasn't playing, and I sprinkled in a little Chargers money line. And there was a point in that game where the Chargers were about to punch it in from the 1-yard line, 1st and goal, to take the lead in, I think, like late in the third quarter. And everything was looking good. It looked like the plus 11 was a lock. Over 47 would have been great because it was looking good because the Chargers would have taken the lead and the Chiefs would have had to come back. Mike Williams hit in the first quarter, I think, and the money line was looking good. Next thing I know, I'm texting you because you had a prop that cashed, and I'm sure you're gonna mention in a second. But next thing I know, it was a pick six going the other way. So now the plus 11's in jeopardy. The money line's going to garbage, and the over under's in jeopardy. Luckily enough, we had that late backdoor cover touchdown, which if they would have kicked the field goal, which would have made it a 1-possession game, we would have ended up pushing on that. So that was cool to hit that. We lost the money line, but at least we hit that teaser to recoup some funds from that Monday start.
Right. That Monday was I think I was even red on Monday, but it was just due to a simple baseball bet that the Mets. I think we had a Mets Dodgers parlay that day, but that's in the past, right? So Thursday, you're right. I did have a prop. That was my one play of the day on Thursday. I had a prop. It was Gerald Everett over 40.5. I love that spot for him, especially in a game versus Chiefs. He looked good week 1. His over under was 40.5. I think he wound up finishing with like 71, something 72 or something like that. But that started me out Thursday. And then let me mention this real quick because emotions are still high from this. On our last episode, I mentioned game of the year, and I mentioned Cuse -1. And I'll tell you one thing. I'm still flying high from that game. I was fucking there. I was in attendance for that pandemonium in the Dome. I'll tell you right now. The atmosphere was like no other Syracuse game I've ever been to. It was, honestly, I'm already looking at tickets for October 15th when we bring in NC State.
Yeah,
it's gonna.
COVID.
I mean, if you would tell me that I would be able to witness that and catch COVID every single time, I would tell you yes. Because what I did in the crowd after that game, man, I feel better. If you're a Purdue fan sitting next to me, I feel bad. I'm so sorry. I was going wild. But look, we hit on the money line with them. And that brings us into Sunday. Now I got a little bow walking into Sunday. And let me just piggyback on Thursday because I had an open play. I had the Chargers plus 10 and the Rams -4.5.
God.
And that's going to be spoken about when we get to the 4 o'clock slate. But do we want to talk about how our 1 p.m. slate fucking finished today? Because I think that was, I don't know what happened at the end of that 1 o'clock slate. It was just mayhem.
I mean, you had the Jets game.
Right.
Jets, I think, were 2 touchdowns with under 2 minutes. You had that Dolphins game, too, with 6 touchdowns.
Right.
Who would have thought that? I thought that game was over the Ravens game. I actually had the under in that game. That was dead. That was dead off right off the kickoff.
You had the under in the Dolphins Ravens game?
I did.
That's a little foggy of a play, no Mo?
It was a teaser. It was a
Oh.
teaser. I had Dolphins Ravens under 51.
Eh.
Bucks Saints under 50. Panthers +6. Jags +10. 3 out of the 4 hit. That was the one that lost.
Oof.
That was shout out to CBM on that one.
CVM, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, speak about teasers. I had actually had the Dolphins in the teaser. I had them +9, and they were paired along with the Carolina Panthers at +5. And I'm looking at that game, and I'm like, we got a problem here. They were down a stupid amount going into that fourth quarter, and I'm like, I'm fucked here. +9, this is dead, but they wound up doing what they had to do. They covered that, so now we hit that. Now we're building a little tree here, and I locked in a couple props today for the 1 o'clock games. Let me be upfront. I woke up at 12:52, and I locked these bets in with 8 minutes to spare, and it was Jalen Waddle over receiving yards. He went, as you said before, nuclear. That was outstanding of him. That cashed. ETN, I went back to the well because he didn't do for me last week. ETN had 2.5 reception line. I took it. He had 3, I think. It had 3. Cashed. And then I remember seeing that the Panthers want to get McCaffrey the ball a lot more. And I'm like, 64.5 disrespect. He goes out there and proves to me why it was disrespect. 102 on the ground. That hit. So now I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm sweeping this 1 o'clock slate. I know I'm texting you. Things are working. Shout out to Demo. He took a $5 parlay and turned into $5.50 on cue. Like we sent him the vibes. He needed vibes. We sent it to him.
We needed us to help him.
Right. He called on for the boys. He called on the Pay the Man boys, and we delivered. He needed sparkles in the chat. We gave him sparkles, and Tua delivered a dot. Secured a deal for him. And did you have any 1 o'clock games not go your way besides the over under, or go your way? How'd you finish the 1 o'clock slate?
At Tampa money line. I think I knew the whole storyline going into that was Brady has yet to beat the Saints in his career in the regular season as a Tampa Bay Buck. But I was like, I feel like a big thing with that was Sean Payton was gone. They were missing their best player in Alvin Kamara, and honestly, I felt like he was due. I had the Bucks money line, and that cash for me, that was big. And I had Carter's over under was 2.5 of receptions. Him and Breece Hall had 18 targets in their first game. Now I know like from behind, garbage time, stuff like that, but I figured he was going to see the target. Joe Flacco can't move for the guy's legs are basically shattered.
He's pretty much in quicksand.
Especially with the good D line, I figured he would, and he actually had 3 receptions. So that cash good at 1 o'clock. I did good, and I told you, I was like, I feel like we got all the craziness out the way.
Right. There was a lot going on.
Right. There was a lot going on. I was like, 4 o'clock, I think, is going to be just smooth sailing for us. I think, teams are just going to handle business. I think because a lot of the bigger favorites were at 4 o'clock.
Right.
So we're going into it.
Funny thing is,
bottom. So things obviously didn't go, man.
Funny thing is, I think the whole 4 o'clock slate didn't have a win on their record. I think everyone was 0-1 in that 4 o'clock slate. I think I heard Hansen say that, I believe, on the Red Zone today, which was wild. But the 1 o'clock slate was a lot going on. We had props. We had close games with Tampa. I redeemed myself from last week because, not to mention my 2-star, I know CBM follows my 2-star plays. And look, on the 2-star line, I had Lions money line. Took them out of Pick'em, and they manhandled the Commanders. Like I knew my guy would. He would go out there, he would win me a football game. And we're back in the win column with the double stars. And
for 2 in 24 games, and they did what they had to do.
Right.
And your 3-star still yet to play.
The 3-star is still yet to hit the field. That is the Vikings money line. That's gonna set me up nicely for this week. But let's jump into the 4 o'clock. We said let's have a calm 4 o'clock slate. We handled business in the ones. We had props. We had, like I said, close games with the Bucks. The Lions were almost got a little close. Let's sit back. I told you, I said, look, I'm not gonna bet anything crazy this 4 o'clock slate. I'm gonna pick my spots right. But I know you had a lot of action going on.
Yeah, well, this is the frustrating thing is because we had a great Saturday with the fights.
Yeah.
College football, we had a good 1 o'clock, but then the 4 o'clock comes around, and bad bankroll management. I was like, and listen, you guys are gonna mock me for it. I was big on the Rams and Bengals money line parlay. I said there's no way. The Rams got beat bad in week 1, but it's against the Bills. They're a big bounce back spot here against Atlanta, and I thought, the Cowboys offense with Dak only put up 3 points. Now you take him out of the equation, put in Cooper Rush, and you're again going up against a Cincinnati team that had a heartbreaking loss last week, and I thought that this was pretty much the lock of the day. So I parlayed those two, and I felt real confident up until the first drive of the Cowboys, and I saw how easily they moved the football, and I didn't think it was possible for the Bengals offensive line to be worse than last year, but
Right.
somehow is after all the money they spent in upgrades and free agency. It somehow is, and that whole game, dude. I've been betting long enough not to sound like that guy. We're like, I know how this plays out. Like I know I'm like, okay, the Bengals are gonna make a run here. And I'm going to lose in the end. And that's exactly what happened. They come back in the game, tie it up, get the 2-point conversion. I think they even get a 3 and out. They had a chance to take the lead with the 2-minute drill. Burrow goes 3 and out. Cooper Rush gets the ball back. CeeDee Lamb, Noah Brown. Before you know it, they're in field goal range. And of course, they make a 50 whatever yard field goal for the win. But a week ago, Randy Bullock misses the 47-yarder when we're on it. It's just like, it's how the cookie crumbles. Like
If you had the Cowboys, that kick goes wide, right?
right.
And it just doesn't end well.
Yeah.
But
So brutal
yeah,
game.
that you win that flips things around.
A whole week. Because I also had a teaser. I had the Rams, which you're gonna talk about. I had the Rams for brutal. 49ers, which I was a little less confident because I was like, we haven't seen Trey Lance really go out and do it for them to be a minus 500 favorite. But I had a minus 2.5. And actually Trey Lance out for the year, which is
That's insane.
Yeah, it sucks.
Does that make them a better football team in your opinion?
But I was gonna say, good thing they re-signed Jimmy G. I think he's the better quarterback right now. Packers -4, cash, and then my one loss, Cincinnati -1. So Cincinnati just crushed me.
Jesus. I mean, look, I'm battling a fucking sneeze here. COVID. Fuck. I mean, look, we're going to talk about teasers, right? And we're going to talk about something that I've never seen before in my life. I got another sneeze coming here, brother, man. I'm battling. It's my fucking flu game here. But I appreciate it. I put a teaser in on Thursday night. It was Chargers +10 and the Rams -4.5. And I said to myself, get through this Chargers game, and it's an easy 100. And look, Chargers did what they had to do, and the Rams were up 28-3. And I don't know if you saw the snapshot I sent you, but if you know, 28-3, the whole Atlanta fucking thing. Nothing goes right when you see that score on the fucking scoreboard. So now I watch the Red Zone every Sunday, and I'm not seeing a lot of this Rams game on the Red Zone. So I'm like, all right, this could be good. They're not showing the game a lot. It's probably just a blowout. Cooper Kupp's handling business. I turn the game. I see the game. Bro, somehow, some way, it's a fucking 1-score game, 2-score game.
Could I tell you where you messed up, though?
Let's hear it.
You counted your chickens before they hatched.
I did do
that. You were in the chat saying how hot you were, you haven't lost at 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. You're like cash, 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 and that was
You're right. You know, that's one of the things where like I remember the voice memo. I remember the voice memo I sent to you, and I kind of regretted it as soon as I said it. I know exactly what you're talking about, but you know, so during that Rams game, I didn't have any action besides a teaser. Like I said, I was gonna pick my spots well, and I saw Cooper Kupp's receiving yards line was at 64.5. He wanted it was like started the second quarter. I was like, all right, this is my spot. Let me jump in. And I locked it in, and I wound up smashing on like 4 catches. And that was easy. But now I'm watching this game, and I'm like, all right, wait. We got 2-score game. Falcons have the ball. Maybe they get a stop. They wound up scoring. 6-point game. 6-point game and the ball. Cooper Kupp fumbles. Cooper Kupp fumbles a ball on like a 15-yard gain. Probably would have iced the game. Probably would have been over. Falcons get the ball back. Mariota drives down. He gets to like the 30. It's 1st and 10 on the 30, like a minute 45 to go. And Jalen Ramsey comes up with a nice pick in the end zone.
At that point, I had to put the Rams game on too, because I had the Rams Bengals
right
in my parlay. So I thought the game was over like you. So I was just watching, stressing out about the Bengals, worrying about the Bengals. Then I was like, oh God,
there's a ball game over here.
So then I had to go dual screen, and now I'm stressing out about 2 games.
So now I'm sitting there.
We just couldn't have a sweat-free win.
It was so perfect. Everything was going good. I was in my bed all day. I'm fucking sick, so I'm just chilling. Now, this is where it gets fun. I'm fucking looking at this score. I'm like, all right, we're up 6. The teaser's still hot. Cooper Kupp already smashed, so this would be fucking perfect for the 4 o'clock slate. The Rams run the ball 3 times. I'm pretty sure the Falcons only had 2 timeouts. They stopped the ball. They stopped the clock twice. Now it's 4th down. Like less than like 30 seconds to go in the game. And I want to say they put Tutu Atwell in at punter. Bro, the guy starts running backwards. They take a safety to kill clock. Now, if you remember what I said, the score was a 6-point lead. 2 points puts them up by 4 to make it 31-27. Falcons can't do anything with the ball. Rams win 31-27. Teaser loses.
Did you push on that?
I had a -4.5. It was a 6-point teaser on Thursday night. I don't know if the line changed, like probably today or whatever, but
I had a -4.
So it would have been a push if I locked it in today. But I had a -4.5 from Thursday, which fucked me. And I don't mind the coaching play out of McVay, because I feel like that's something I would do if I was in that similar situation. Because look, you punt the ball away. It got blocked the last time. That's how they fucking got back in this game. It was a blocked punt. So McVay's thinking, let's not do this again. Let's fucking run backwards. They killed probably like 5-6 seconds off the clock. And
it's a brutal beat.
Yeah, I never seen anything like that in my life.
I was expecting them to like punt return, Hail Mary, like there was in college in the Appalachian State. Now Appalachian State football game.
Now they want to win.
So I was expecting the money line to lose, but then when they won, I was like, oh great. But then I remembered your teaser, and I was like, oh damn.
I'd never seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah,
that was actually the only loss. Oh no, well, no, it's not the only loss. But the 4 o'clock slate was just the Rams. I had Rams action all around. Did you had Bengals and Rams also? That was it on the 4 o'clock. Did you dabble anywhere else?
I had a Marquise Brown over 50.5 prop. There was a thing that Matthew Berry put something out where he had like his projections, and it had like the percentage of where he had his projection based on where the line, like the highest difference. And Marquise Brown was number 1. He had him projected for like 80 something. It was like 50.5. It's like, all right, I could see this game being a shootout, so I tailed.
Was he right?
You only hit because it went to overtime.
Oh my god!
Did you see that game?
I saw the game. I saw Kyler Murray sit in the pocket for 20 seconds and run and scram ass his way around. They were getting blown out, right? It was like 20-0 at one point.
What's going on with all these games? All these games, you have them dead to rights. You're moving on to the next game, and then you get the score update in the bottom, and you're like, "What the hell?"
I was on the phone with my dad, and he's like, "Yo, Kyler might not score any points. He has him in his fantasy team." He's like, "Yo, this guy might not score any points the whole game,"
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he goes wild.
So I thought that was dead, and then I saw it was in overtime. I was like, "Wait, maybe I could recoup some funds from that parlay." So I mean, that was at least cool.
Any other props you dabble in today?
That was it.
I like the props. I really do. That was it on the 4:00 games, right?
Yeah, but you know what I was doing during the Packers game?
Let's hear it.
Total degenerate move. But I was.
Were you in the live section?
I was in the live section. Green Bay Packers 6th drive crosses yard line crosses the 50-yard line. Chicago Bears 7th drive field goal attempt.
So did that hit, or was that just
it did hit
the field goal or the 50?
Yeah, you know what, they were in like good field goal. I think they were already like just outside field goal range, and I was like, I felt good about the Packers holding to a field goal, so they both hit. But that was kind of a cool little bet.
That's like betting on baseball, like to get a hit in the inning.
Get a feel for the game, like the Packers were moving the ball at will during that first half. They put up 21 points.
What were the odds? What was the odds on that crossing the 50?
Minus 115.
Yeah, that's that. So, and you can only do it one time, right? So,
yeah, but then like after the first play, then it's like, it was like minus 2 something. So I was like, and then I was like going into halftime, AJ Dillon's over under receiving yards was like 2.5. Like, I didn't do it, and good thing I didn't, because I don't think he hit it. But it's like it's one catch. Randall Cobb was like 42.5. He had like 38.5. So there's good value out there.
That live screen can get dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, so going into the primetime game, the Packers game, I had Packers. I did a teaser. I love my teasers. Packers -3, Bears Packers over 35. I don't know if you know the score, but I think it was 20.
27-10.
It was 27-10, but it was, what was it going into half? Packers scored 21. Was it?
Let me see. I don't remember. It was a big lead, no?
I think it was 20. I think it was 24-7.
It was 24-7. Yes.
So it was 31. I was like, easy money on the over.
And then they put up 6 points in the second.
They put up 0 points in the third. Bears had 3. And if it wasn't for a Mason Crosby field goal, I was like, I'm going to lose this. It looked like over 35. They had 31 in the first half, and I had to sweat that out.
All you needed was one touchdown.
Right, and then they were up by 14, and the Packers they went to draw them off sides, but it looked like they might have went for it. I was like, they're not going for this up 14. Like, they got to make it a 3-possession game,
right?
And they ended up taking the field goal, but I would have lost. So
that's
cool.
Insane.
But the Packers, like we predicted, they were going to get the ball to Aaron Jones a lot more. I mean, the guy had a field day. Like, I don't know why they gave him the ball 5 times last game. I mean, and it seems like he's kind of taking the back seat to AJ Dillon a little bit. I know they're trying to get him more involved in like the passing game, stuff like that. But I think, listen, every time he touches the ball, I mean, that guy makes a play.
Did you hear what Roquan Smith said about them?
No, what he said?
He said, even though Aaron Jones is smaller than AJ Dillon, Jones runs harder, and he's harder to bring down than a fucking unit of AJ Dillon.
Like AJ Dillon's a guy you want like late
in the year.
But I mean, AJ,
like you say, no one wants to tackle 280 late in January.
Right. I mean, Roquan could say whatever he wants. 280 is 280.
It's true.
Godfather.
I wound up losing a prop that game because I thought it was a nice bounce back spot for the Lazard.
Is it, man?
And it wasn't, obviously. I had him over 3.5 at plus money. It was a light play. If my Rams teaser hit, I was gonna put a lot more on it. So I'm happy that things went the way they went. But he had 2.
Oh
He had the
man.
touchdown and he had one in the first. He had a catch in the first and a touchdown in the second. So I said, look, give me 1.25. And then for some reason, the Packers just shut down in the second half.
Sammy Watkins had a good game.
Sammy Watkins did have a great game.
I was on one other prop by Christian Watson. Anytime touchdown score plus
What-
500.
Was it plus 500? Yeah.
I just figured, I was like, he had a real shot week 1. He dropped it. I was like, they get, at those odds, why not?
Yeah,
Against
well,
like
he was due, right? It was a nice bounce back spot
Yeah.
for him.
gave him a shuffle. I was like, this is his opportunity, and he didn't get it. And then he even got in the way and caused a fumble in the backfield, and it's a nightmare. But
I heard you talked a couple of people into that Watson play also.
things are just getting. I mean, I didn't talk to him. I didn't convince anybody. I just met odds.
Look, he was due for a bounce back spot. He's gonna
Yeah.
make up. He's gonna make up for it.
I mean,
No, I know. But look,
anybody right now is not.
What?
Anyone telling me right now is just look at where I am. Okay.
I said rock bottom. Fucking rock bottom. Wasn't that? Was that a thing that we used to have? Rock bottom.
It might have been rock bottom wagers or something like that.
No, it's probably not. But it's not. But I
That's
finished this.
SpongeBob thing, right?
It is, but I thought it was just like I thought we used to use something like that. But
Yeah, man.
look, I did something that not a lot of. I can't really say that I do this a lot, but I was green from Tuesday to Sunday, and I'm gonna take a nice little check from my guy this week.
That's the Grim Challenge right there.
Right, 1 to 2 plays a day. I got crazy on Monday. Monday was a crazy play because we flew back on Monday.
Yeah.
So I still was on a Vegas high. We had the tennis parlay and all that stuff on the flight, which really didn't go my way. I had to hedge out of that Mets loss by a couple Javonte Williams props. But look, I like to do 1 to 2 plays a day and just eat up and
You
stay
checked
logical.
fresh week.
It refreshed already?
Yeah.
Brutal.
Like,
That's brutal.
I'm kidding.
Fresh week. But
Right.
look.
Yeah, you know something, dude. The Broncos really screwed me on Monday, and
Yeah.
then I kind of did the fight. I did really good on the Chargers, and then the fight, and then college football. I was on FSU. I was on Oregon, and then
Surprised you didn't take Purdue.
I thought about it, but it's a respect thing, like you're
Yeah.
not a guy who just
You know
does
my
side-
you know my record in the Carrier
not a
Dome.
I'm not a guy who does side action.
Oh my god.
who have
Side
people-
action. How come I didn't know about the Watson play this week? I didn't know about the plus
But-
500 dagger play you put out there.
different because this is like we're not together. Like there's no vibes. There's like you made bets I don't know about. Like this is different.
Today? Not
This-
today, brother, man. Hey, look.
We're all together at a UFC event and we're like rooting for the same guy, and then you're like off on the side just rooting like against everybody. Like that.
I didn't want to become one of those strawberries that gone bad, brother, man. You were not looking good that weekend. You were infecting all the good fucking strawberries.
It's true, but it's just
You had my guy over there regretting life because you told him Tony Ferg was the guy.
I mean, Tony. Could we go a day without hearing? And please.
Yo,
Please.
when I got a notification today that there was a UFC fighter that retired, I thought it was Jose Aldo, but I thought it was
yeah.
Tony.
So I'm watching the fights last night, and it was the Sanhagen, and they're like, this guy's hunting him down like vintage Tony Ferguson.
Oh no.
Again, like, could we go a week without hearing or a day without hearing vintage T? Like,
Vintage T was all I heard that fucking
Damn.
Saturday.
I
The
don't.
kid- Yo,
on the-
you were walking around the suite almost looking like Tony Ferg.
I mean, that's
Who'd you I want to talk about these fights because I kind of missed them. I was in the mix of a lot going on.
the week's over. Please.
It did refresh. You're right. The week's over.
Hey, another.
The week's over.
But we still have the Grim 3-star player of the week on Monday.
Right. The 3-star player of the week right now is coming in at plus 120. I'm still confident about it. They look really good versus the Packers. But then again, the Packers answered very nicely today, so I'm not gonna go back on my 3-star, but
having a bad enough day week, you got to give me a little dig at this point that we got dominated by Minnesota. Like, is that a little dig?
It's not, honestly. I wasn't even thinking about a dig.
I mean,
no, I wasn't throwing a dig, but I think
go.
tomorrow, in our case, let's build on it. Let's build on this. We got a couple games to take advantage of. I think the props are going to be very nice in this game tomorrow. I love everything digs tomorrow.
Everything digs.
Yeah. You know why? Because I'm playing them in fantasy. That's why. So everything digs.
That makes. I mean, everybody. I remember last year they played. I think it was Monday night. Derrick Henry ran all over them. Right.
They did.
Yeah.
They covered the plus 3.5.
They're minus 500 for tomorrow.
Is there a value playing the Titans? Are they live?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, maybe, but I mean, look at all these upsets. Like these. Look at the Broncos. Look at the Bengals. Like the fact that they're minus 500 teams like so early.
How about the Colts? Shut out today.
I don't know.
How about the Colts? They got shut out today.
I'm off the Colts. I'm off the Colts.
Done.
I'm an idiot, and I was buying into the hype again. Put them into my futures parlay. They're canceled. 24. So, they should have been canceled last week, and I remember I said, "Oh, the Jaguars got to prove it." Good thing I saw the injury report and I was like, let me stay away. Okay. Done.
So I really like to look at us as like a transparent podcast. I want to like keep everything open and honest. You know, when we went over all our picks in the last episode, I write them down, and let's just say good thing we didn't really tell all of them. So we picked every game, and we went 3-8.
Could you say our 3 wins?
Chargers. Oh, that's not even a win. They didn't cover, right? They didn't plus 4 cover.
They did. They lost by 3, didn't they? That touchdown.
They did. Yes. The back door was.
Herbert played through that injury to lose by 3.
Right. So you're right. That worked. Plus 3. That Chargers hit, Lions money line, and Packers minus 10 or money line was what we said. And we got totally dominated everywhere else.
Wait, we said Seattle?
We didn't say Seattle, and the Bucs Saints game was a question mark. We really didn't have a set little thing for
Bucs. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think
maybe that was for me. I think I put Bucs Saints question mark, but I think you're right. I think you took the Bucs. I think you said that Tampa Bay has to beat Saints in the regular season eventually. But look, game of the year hit, and that's it, man. I mean, new week, fresh start.
You guys finally got a football program over there, huh?
We might be a football school. I was looking up at the banner, and like they got the banners in the rafters, right?
No championships or anything, right?
There's a couple football championships. They got a couple back in the day, but 95% of the banners are lacrosse. We might be a fucking lacrosse school. I mean, obviously we got the 1-3, but like I said, that atmosphere was wild. We have a good shot of going 5-0, walking into a game versus ranked NC State.
Can I ask you personal?
Let's hear it.
You had to walk on, right? You had to be a walk. You have a tryout. What position?
Well, if you had to put
what do you think your best shot is?
To make the team, or like?
Yeah, just to make the team.
All right. So if you use my like attributes, I'm 6'2", 6'1" ish, at like $175. If I put on weight, I can easily get to 2. I don't think I could be a wideout. Tight end, maybe not.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could see you being like a 3rd string tight end.
So if you want me to play both sides of the ball, let me be an edge rusher and a third string tight end.
You're a
Let me
multi-positional player.
right.
You're
Let
like
me play both sides of the ball. Like what's his name? What's his face? Higgins. Reagan. What's the guy's name from yeah. Let me play both sides of the ball.
so
Let
you're saying
me
play like a linebacker. I
you
can
know
see you being a hybrid fullback / tight end, like a use.
yes and no. I also would compare myself to Van Der Esch.
I mean, I just don't. I feel like you're scared of contact.
Well, with no pads on, playing a game at Owl Howl, maybe I might be a little scared of contact. But maybe I got pads on with a helmet, I might take someone's head off. So give me the neck pad that he wears. I'm seeing
That's
highlights of him.
You want the
I'm a big accessories guy. So I would either dress up like fucking like Jamal Adams has the fucking wristbands all over his thing. Remember he used to wear that? And yeah, I don't know. I mean, look. Micah Parsons.
now you're getting crazy. We're
Can
talking
I-
about
Can I scream off the edge at 6'2", $175?
what your best. You think linebacker, the edge.
I would have to be a linebacker. I don't think I'm not fast enough to play corner. Am I athletic enough to play safety? Maybe not. Honestly, I got two spots on this football field. Done. I'm either an outside linebacker screaming at the quarterback, or I'm the long snapper.
On our flag team, you were a good rusher, good pass rusher.
Is that a dig?
I wasn't. I mean, I wasn't talking about a playoff game. I was just talking in general.
Oh, what do you mean? How do you not talk about the last game that fucking sent us home? You know, we have 2 minutes left in this podcast, and I'm going to use all of it. Brother, we go into that game, and I watched film on the team that we played. And the quarterback was not supposed to be the guy that they started. So going in there, if I know I'm faster than you, you're not getting by me. I know for sure. I actually watched the game. And I know for sure that if you're not faster than me, you're not getting by me. So I was fully mentally prepared to face a quarterback that was a little slower than me. So I was ready to go. I was fired up. I even said it. I'm ready to cause chaos today. Right?
Havoc was the word you used.
Was it havoc? It was havoc. I get in there, and I see that the quarterback that we're supposed to face tackled the kid last week, suspended the game. So now I'm coming in there. It's kind of like what happened at the fights. Nate Diaz they weren't supposed to fight all these fucking people, but we go in there and the quarterback is running all over the field. If I would have manned up and called on my guy, hey, we need you over here, we might have won the game.
Wasn't a team player. It's just it is what it is.
It really bothered me. But wait, I led the team in receptions.
We're not talking about.
I'm just saying, so maybe like my position on a football field might be different. I led the team in receptions. A couple of big plays down the field too.
A tight end.
Maybe. Do you remember the play I had over the top? And
I
you're like,
remember
I don't. No, let's not. It didn't hit me in the chest. It hit me top shoulder, back shoulder. I'm running this way. It hit me here, and I tripped over my own feet. Maybe we'll run the clip because that was pretty funny. Can you put that in here? Get it in there. That was pretty funny.
Past my bedtime. What a brutal week.
I'm up. I'll take it. We're gonna recoup you tomorrow, and
you know, like
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I fight. I put in the time and effort. I wake up at 12:52 to lock in bets.
Listen, you know what? That might have been good because you didn't overthink your plays this week.
Right. Well, I usually don't. I usually really don't.
You gotta be methodical. So.
Right. But now we're gonna walk into Monday, fresh start. That's the episode. I like that we did it like this. A little late. I can see us rambling on, but look, I don't mind it. And